You know, in every hard game, there's that one hard trick that defines the game. Whether it be straight flying in Geometry Dash, spike jump in Celeste, or heck, a BLJ in Super Mario 64. With a game like Steep Steps, there's bound to be something, and yes, there is.
Check this out.
That right there was my sole Onset win, currently number 2 hardest map on the list. I'll be using it to demonstrate the trick that defines this game. Momentums. As you can see from the completion, they come in all flavors. To begin the completion, we have ladder glides. They go by many names, but they look a little bit like this. You place the ladder a little away from the edge, then walk into it backwards. Of course, it isn't that simple. First, you have to place the ladder a little less than 2 studs away from the edge, then rotate your ladder slightly when you place it. Now, don't walk into it straight back yet. You want to tilt your character slightly matching the angle of the ladder. Now walk backwards and hope for the best. I say hope for the best because there's a lot of room for error, and sometimes it just won't work. Now, in some maps, you're going to need to re-grab the ladder, or else it gets soft-locked, which is its own skill that you'll probably learn as you ladder a little bit more. Next up is a classic momentum. I say classic because it was the first instant of momentum discovered. It looks fairly simple, but there's some nuance. To begin, what I'll just call momentum, you start by hugging the wall near the edge. Now you want to flick your camera slightly, and then for the most important part, placing your ladder. As soon as you place the ladder, you want to hold forward, then right away hold the direction of the momentum. In this case, the D key. Now re-grab the ladder and prepare to land on to the other side, holding the respective direction. Now, a few notes. You don't need to re-grab the ladder, but it adds a little bit of consistency, and even then, some maps require it. One major factor that will determine the effectiveness of your momentum is the distance away from the edge. Most of the time you're going to want to be as close off the edge as possible, but sometimes you're going to need to be a little bit higher, like in the 808 ladder to ladder. Now you want to get as far away from the edge as possible because you want more height, not distance. This is because it takes longer to fall all the way down and therefore more time to climb up. There's probably more to this, but that's as far in depth I'll go. Next is a forward momentum. It's a very niche technique that is only used in a few maps, but it is fairly easy, so might as well show it. Anyway, when point B is higher than point A and there's no wall to pull off a sideways momentum, you're going to need to do this. First, place the ladder 1 or so studs away from the edge, then you want to climb all the way to the top. Now go to the left or rightmost part of the rungs of the ladder and climb down until your torso is right above the second highest rung. Now rotate your camera 90 degrees. Now this is the momentum part. Press shift and go with the flow of the ladder. Make sure you're on the ladder for most of this duration. Now grab it before the downwards momentum overtakes you, and that's it. Yeah, I'm sure you won't see it very often, but it is still a very neat trick. Okay, all these momentums are kind of crazy, so why don't we come down to the sponsor of today's video, not a sponsor, but join the Elite Laddering server, a place where the best of the best meet up and discuss the elitist of laddering, down in the pinned comment. Anyway, let's get right back to it. The next one is for the babies out there. I used to call it baby strap because of how easy it is, but it has its place. So if you find yourself in a one-stud platform just like this, you place your ladder and go from side to side and topple the ladder so it falls down. Just make sure to grab the ladder so you don't zoom down, and you're basically good to go. You can use this to make some momentums easier, but sometimes it's necessary. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that this is known as a topple momentum. Next up is another easy one. All you have to do is put your ladder 90 degrees from the edge and just walk into it from the side. I mean, yeah, that's it. And there's rarely any use for it, but might as well throw it. But wait, there's more. If you walk into the ladder from a place higher than the floor, you get something a little bit more substantial. And of course, I don't know a way to make this required, but you can just use the previous methods. And lastly is the ultra mega momentum of the century. The fact I'm even sharing this is a mere miracle. The kickback momentum, the most legendary of momentums. Place the ladder against the wall, then walk into the wall from the highest part of the ladder, which is the sides, and then fall back with immense speed. And remember to regrab. Yeah, you just did a kickback momentum. Well, anyways, thanks for watching, and remember, the world isn't flat, the world isn't round either. It's an irregularly shaped ellipsoid according to
Chat GPT.